Welcome back to the EMS One Katowice final. We are on day 2 in our first matchup of Dignitas versus HellRaisers. Let's get back over to Scott as he takes us into map 2.
All right, once again, I am joined by the ever popular and cool Jason.
You're stretching it.
I know.
I mean, I can say that about you. I'm more of the tall, lanky guy that no one knows what he's doing. Kind of just sit in the back.
You are tall and lanky. Folks, don't be confused by all this. We're queuing up. I want to look through a round. So our guys are getting that organized for me. We're going to look through one of the rounds on the first side of this map that I think may have helped decide the overall score. But before we get into that, obviously, Dust 2, 16-7 scoreline for Dignitas. Solid play by them.
Yeah, I mean, it really was. They seemed to have control of basically every single round, obviously minus the 7 that they lost. HellRaisers, though, because I want to focus on them more than I want to focus on actually the other side. I believe I don't even have my mic on.
Oh, hang on. Hey, I'm joined by the ever...
My mic off during the breaks to save battery. I was trying to save battery. So what I was saying was that, you know, the side of Dignitas, they looked good. Looked solid for pretty much the entire time. You look at me like my mic's maybe not on this time.
Well, I'm also, you know, I'm usually a production guy, and I'm still getting used to someone in my ear.
Oh, okay.
So he was basically saying that your mic wasn't on.
and embarrassed. So they didn't hear the intro for that one. But yeah, so I want to focus on HellRaisers though, because they didn't perform too well. Yeah, they picked up a couple of rounds. They looked good in quite a few of them, but it was all about just basically one man, Dozia.
Yeah.
He was leading the team in kills. He was 12-12 at the end of the first half. No one was above 10 besides him. And then also you had Kutcher, who had a couple of opportunities to make some really clutch plays, but unfortunately they kind of fell through. And I think Dust 2 might not be one of their stronger maps. Obviously, we have 2 more to come, potentially. Yep. But overall, it's just well played by Dignitas. They look solid. They look strong. They look like they were focused and are looking to take potentially a 2-0 victory.
Yeah, and we definitely saw a shimmer of Markelov's op there towards the end. It's like, yeah. oh man, oh man. So I want to look at round 12, basically. We can kind of get out of the way here a little bit. We're going to do a little Wolf Blitzer action.
I don't know if I should stand up.
Yeah, you're a really tall guy.
And I'm off the camera.
But basically, and again, we'll go full screen for you guys eventually too, but basically round 12, really good stuff by Kutcher at the start, right? He ends up all by himself in the B-bomb site. He doesn't have the bomb in his hand yet. Oh yeah, he's grabbed it. So he kills this guy in the tunnel, and he's deciding, am I going to plant this bad boy, or...
I have to say this. This is what Scoots was saying the whole time. Pull up matchmaking, pull up matchmaking, pull up matchmaking. And you're seeing him do it.
Yeah, I was basically like, hey man, do this, man. Go wrap it around, go all the way back to A, go all the way back to A. Especially when obviously we see everything, right? So, and we saw that he was sitting and just waiting for him at the double door. So he plants. This is great. He comes up cat. He plants. This is where the old Scoots, the manager guy, the do not peek guy, is like, what are you doing? What? And at the scoreline at this point was 8-4.
Actually, can we,
right?
can we pause it right here? This is one thing I was talking about to Stu about, and I was really curious, is that in this situation, American teams versus European teams, and we saw, I think it was Complexity just yesterday, where they got really aggressive in one-on-ones. It was actually on Inferno. It was down towards T-side middle, and there was a CT in Banana, and the T had the bomb in T-side middle. And instead of actually running away to go plant the bomb at A, he sat there and fought him out. And this is what's interesting to me is, in this situation, would another team have sent, Kutcher to Catwalk like you were wondering, or maybe go somewhere else? But he goes for the peak, and I don't know, it can catch the team off guard, obviously, once he gets some information. But in this situation, obviously, it doesn't work out for him.
Yeah, and even when he got to Catwalk, you could see he hesitated, probably looked at how much time he had left, because I thought he was just going to try to, go behind the guy and, kill him. Yeah. But then he realized, no, I got time to get all the way up and over.
Ooh, is
he going to sneak out? Yeah. But actually, so he does great. He plants. This is where my bat would come into play. I would be yelling and screaming, because he's come up Catwalk, so he knows that whole area is clear for him. But this is what happens. Let's go ahead and roll this bad boy.
It happened that fast, even in game. It was ridiculous.
Wow. Okay. Yeah,
it was a fantastic shot by Zipnix, though, we have to say. Fantastic, good clutch play, stayed calm, was able to get it. And if you look at the score, 8-4. Honestly, not that one-sided so far. HellRaisers picked up 4 straight, I believe it was.
Yeah.
But this round, it was a downward spiral from here.
Yeah, and again, if they win that one, he doesn't peek, he steps back, he waits, he plays the don't peek game, come to me, and waits for the bomb to tick. We end up with maybe an 8-7. Which is a totally different scoreline, even though it's only a couple rounds. Totally different scoreline going into the second half.
It's a mental thing too.
Absolutely.
It's like 10-5, 8-7, 8-7.
And I even imagine some of his teammates are going to be like, "Why did you peek? Why did you peek? Don't peek, don't peek." So that's our little highlight of that one.
That's just us too. We have Mirage now.
Oh, yeah, and Mirage. And bear with us on this. This is new technology for us here at the Wolf Blitzer Situation Room Wall. So we're going to keep...
I want to get like stickers and just
throw stuff. I want to be able to grab stuff and move it around, you know, draw
That's
on
like
it.
some Marvel Agents shield stuff.
Maybe next time.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to get to the casters in a second, but again, Mirage.
Yep.
And I think one of the storylines for this map is this is the map that Virtus.pro and HellRaisers went into overtime.
Right.
So it'll be very interesting to see how it plays out this time for HellRaisers. Obviously, they were on the bottom side of that map. They did not win. But again, we're going to see.
The thing is, okay, so we saw HellRaisers play against Virtus.pro on it and went to overtime, just like I said. They also played against Titan and beat them on it. If I'm not mistaken, I haven't been able to see all the games that Dignitas played yesterday, but they, if in my head, did not actually play Mirage.
I don't think they did either.
Yeah, I don't believe they have. So this is complete advantage of HellRaisers. And we saw yesterday when they're playing against Virtus.pro, all the set smokes they had, the set flashes were so spot on, so perfect, especially at B site. And it's all to Dignitas to pull a Virtus.pro to adapt quickly enough to stop those pushes and stop them on that T side, which, you know, like we were saying before, they're very based on individual play on T side, but on Mirage alone, they didn't look like that.
Yeah, agreed. All right, casters are ready, players are ready. I'm ready to watch.
I'm ready too.
Obviously, it's win or go home for HellRaisers. We're going to throw it to Stuart and Lauren.
Show of hands, ladies and gentlemen, when Scott's referring to the big screen behind him and he says the Wolf Blitzer Situation Room, how many people know what the Wolf Blitzer Situation Room is, given that most of the American viewers are asleep right now? Show of hands. None. So Wolf Blitz is a really old man. He's a really old man. That's probably one of the reasons Scott likes him. From America, he's on CNN, and he talks to a screen. That's generally that reference that Scott's making. Just wanted to bring that in.
You helped me out. I didn't know. You know.
There you go. See, just thought of it. Love Scott. Don't take me wrong. Love Scott. Beautiful man. Anyway,
it's great for his age. He really keeps up.
Anyway, on point. Dignitas HellRaisers,
yep.
Map number 2, Mirage, HellRaisers got to deliver.
Yes, and it's very hard to kind of judge where they're at on this. So, for example, they played Virtus.pro, but Virtus.pro played out of their skins yesterday. They went to overtime. Would you say that's a bad thing? You know, that they were able to take them that far, and you know, the team that went on to then defeat Titan of all teams. You know, that's not a bad showing, all in all. That's quite good, but I didn't feel they were that comfortable on this map for some reason. You know, you looked at their smokes that Jason mentioned; they were phenomenal. And how's Twitch chat reacting? Because you're doing the too good thing of I'll make a joke, tab out, and look at Twitch chat and grin.
I've got to say, there was one hilarious comment. I didn't get a chance to read who it was from.
Okay.
But basically, Americans saying, "We're still awake. What are you talking about?" And someone in capital letters, "Freedom never sleeps." From. Bio Chop Suey.
That's amazing.
Okay, I give you that.
Never sleeps.
That's the best Twitch message I've read today.
Glorious, absolutely glorious. And actually, thank you to everyone who did tweet through to your predictions. A lot of people saying that Dignitas are just going to take this 2-0. Very confident in them. A lot of Danish pride out there is all I'm going to say. I haven't had that many people supporting HellRaisers, which is surprising. You've got Dozier right there. 50 headshots in 3 matches. And considering these are best of ones, you wouldn't be looking at anything other than that. And that's pretty impressive. He's such a one-man army on occasion. He can be that game-changing player. You look at that lineup, you could easily point out several other people just from history that cozier, but it's always seeming to be Dozier. Markloff has having glimmers of this brilliance coming back and forth, but it's not been anywhere near as consistent as you could say Dozier or even Kucha in the first games we saw of them. But
you know what's interesting, though? Between Navi and HellRaisers,
yes,
there are 10 players of which you could put together 5 that would be a world-beating team.
Certainly.
It's just a question of the politics between them all.
Well, way to gliss that one over. That was well done. There's been actually a lot of drama, and I think with the whole Edward situation and bits like that, they've done well, HellRaisers, to be fair, and I like the way they play, but sometimes it's such a hard team to invest in emotionally on occasion, because sometimes they'll be phenomenal. They will be the team that everyone wants them to be, but then it fizzles away to absolutely nothing sometimes, and I'm kind of hoping this is not going to be today.
Look at those beautiful people.
We like those people. Look at the waving. Such waving.
Titan question mark. Wow, burn.
Jesus Christ, they've already prepared a sign for Titan's failure.
Front row there, you may have just caught on the right-hand side. A man who looks like Craig Levine is actually at CSGO Dev. So
everyone pester him. Now you know what he looks like. Yeah. The whole audience is going to flood him. Well done, Stuart.
Well, it was right
you
at the
put
end.
A target on the boy's back.
It was right at the end. It was off camera. I did it safely. Let's look at the lineups. Oh, let's look at the pictures instead.
I can take you through the lineup today. The guys on the right, which is HellRaisers, it's going to be Markelov, Dozier, Kucha, Adren, and Angel. Obviously, Dozier in the background just chilling out, having a great time. And obviously, Dignitas, Zipnix, Fetish, KGB, Dupree, and Device. And I think we're just about ready to get underway in this one. On the T side, it will be HellRaisers. On the CT side, Team Dignitas, take us away.
Thank you, Lauren. Yes, it's time for HellRaisers to show us what they've got. Time for Adren to connect to the server. And the Dignitas side with a map in their back pocket and a lot of confidence that will have come with it. Those Dignitas guys, if you've spent any time with them, they're so chilled. They're just really enjoyable lads who just want to kind of enjoy winning. When they lose, they don't get as down as other teams do. But when they win, they're a pleasure to be around. And that's infectious. That will translate through into this second map. The calm and confident nature that they'll have going into this. And particularly if you roll back the clock to that first map, so many of them had individual rounds where they were really strong. So many of them can look at rounds where they got a 2-fer or a 3-fer and pick themselves up the win that they that the team needed that round. Slow this time from the HellRaisers side. They've barely left spawn. Now they're ready to make their push in towards the A site. It's all coming now. Device double grenade gets in on the action. KGB with the third grenade frag of the round. Adren does get himself a kill as he picks off Fetish before he goes down. But the grenades did the damage. They charged in under that A arch and they got massacred.
That is not the start any HellRaisers fans would be wanting right now. You do not want to give any sort of glimmer of hope to Team Dignitas after such a storming first map. To give them even just a slight hope, like, okay guys, you've already got a good advantage here. Picking up the first pistol, you're probably going to get 2 rounds off the back of it, unless maybe HellRaisers get a bomb plant here and a couple of picks to invest early. This is dangerous time. So we are seeing another pretty much all in, it looks, towards the A site coming out from the T side of HellRaisers. A good couple of flashes, smokes coming out, and we know these guys love doing this, getting that full setup going. This is what suits them as a team, and we'll be seeing those coming over as soon as they're ready to. It does seem as though the go time is now. Let's see how these land, actually. Oh, the intricacy is absolutely unbelievable. The smokes are now coming down. Fetish completely pushed away from this, but we are seeing Dignitas nevertheless pick up the kills. Device onto Angel. Dupree finding one, but Adren has broken through. But look at the HP. They've been just chipped away at constantly. Device coming around as well. And no matter how smooth the setup and the execution, which was beautiful, may I add, doesn't give them the kills. So Dupree, the only man to really fall in that round for Team Dignitas. 2 rounds back-to-back, and I don't think we're going to see any early investment from the T side.
Yeah, nice try there from HellRaisers.
Yes.
But ultimately to no avail. They're going to buy up 1 flash with Adren, who is leading the scoreboard here for the HellRaisers side. In fact, the only one to have gotten kills for HellRaisers in these opening 2 rounds. The 2 of them that he has. And that's going to not bode well for him, because yesterday he was running at 0.5% ratio, and now today on that first map he was about 0.25%. Hasn't been a good trip to Katowice for him. Zipnix will rattle off a few shots down long, and actually he's we'll soon see some action there. Markelov and Adren are making their way there to be joined Kusha and Dozier, so Zipnix jumping for joy like a young schoolgirl, but now about to get angry and violent like a militia man, as he will jump up, keeps the joy, but here we go. Here comes the anger! As Fetish gets himself the frag onto Angel, KGB picks himself up the next, and Dignitas will clean sweep. Oh, Adren gets himself the frag. Wrote them off before they got it. There you go. Dignitas will clean sweep the conversion into a 3-round conversion off the pistol round, and the schoolgirl that Zipnix was is now balanced out.
So, to my eyes now, I want to see what the comfortable setup for this round will be for HellRaisers. We know they're so dependent on those smokes and those flashes and their fully stratted out execution. 3-2 split so far. Dozier, Angel, and Markelov leaving the bomb by spawn. Kucha and Adren quite far back as well. KGB has got the upped hand. A couple of Famuses still in the mix, not fully going into this one with the M4s, the CTs. And an interesting start. Dozier seems to be making his way below, and this could really catch out KGB and a couple of other players. This could spell trouble. If the timing's not right, they are in real danger. KGB does back away in time, and Dozier will not be around to get the peak there. So Fetish still keeping eyes on mid, and as X-Ray does show you, Dozier was very close to that situation. Still, the difference a couple of seconds can make. KGB now fully safely back, going to be 300 feet, and he's so fluid with his movement. He's not, you know, just being static like some of the ops we've seen so far. He is absolutely everywhere. Fetish just taking his time. And they're not afraid to get aggressive, Dignitas. They're happy to push up, but Angel could just catch him off guard here, and there we go. There's the first kill coming in. Angel picks up Fetish. Good start for the HellRaisers. That's what they needed. Dozier now looks for the follow-up, does not get it through towards A, however. But the bomb, keep your eyes on that minimap, is up by B. If they're going to force the rotate out of Zipnix, they're in a good spot. Dozier now swings back around, as does Angel. Adren can come in and watch the rotate, but Zipnix still needs to hold on to this. He's pretty much alone for the next couple of seconds. Finally has backup in the form of KGB. Zipnix now can push up a little bit. Getting their faces for the bomb is down and ticking. This is good for the T side, but Zipnix finds Markov. Kucha replies. Dozier chimes in with one for himself on the Dupree, and KGB is running the hell away for now. I don't think he's going to be coming back into this one, and I think that is a lovely turn of events for HellRaisers. Played it very slowly and carefully, actually. I quite like that, and actually Adren could be in a good spot to pick up at least 1 kill on the way out. I think he's not too far away from KGB, to be fair. Device is fairly surrounded as well. He could be in trouble, but does get the drop onto Angel at least, so he might just be able to retain that. I lied, Kucha finds him, but KGB replies. So, all in all, good round for HellRaisers. Maybe not as clean as they'd have wanted, but well played nevertheless.
Who cares about clean when you one map down? Get that round on the board and get happy. Yep. As Pharrell Williams plays in the background. Dignitas need to make sure that they don't allow their opponents to build up any form of momentum in this game. They have confidence. They have probably an opponent who went away at halftime and probably yelled at each other a fair bit. So they need to make sure that they are maximizing upon the angst that should exist in their opponents, as Trance is in the house.
We love Trance. He's a good guy.
We wait to see the HellRaisers side on their T side of Mirage. From what we've seen, they've rushed in on the 4 rounds that we had. They rushed into one round. The other rounds, they've always sat deep. They've always waited to see whether they can do some damage, largely to Zipnix, the B holder, and just see whether they can get a pick, whether there's an opening there, whether there's anything for it. If it doesn't happen, that doesn't rule out anything else. It doesn't rule out a complete full rotation over towards A. They're just happy to utilize the first kind of 30, 40 seconds for finding a random pick. And that was said random pick. As Fetish was trying to pull his way back in towards one of the bomb sites, he got countered by Angel there. Adren gets himself the next headshot, drops onto Dupree. And this non-committal move from the HellRaisers may raise a lot of issues for a psychiatrist, but for the scoreboard, it's looking very, very good. They've got only 2 men left to find. They've got 5 players up. Adren finally downed as KGB will pick him off. And there's Angel in for his 2nd or 3rd frag of the round and will pick him off. It's Zipnix or bust for Dignitas here. He's 1 on 3, and he's going to sit at the back of that B site and just hope to save out his weapon. Good round from HellRaisers without really, making any kind of... They let Dignitas make the decisions for them in that one.
Certainly did, and they played it very well. Markov in the end will be finding Zipnix, so they've taken down the entirety of Dignitas, got the bomb plant. Very well played. Now, I'm trying to remember back to, yesterday's games with HellRaisers, and I'm not sure they're all that strong on the T side. I think the CT side, they started to really flourish, so maybe Dignitas need to kind of reevaluate things here, but they are going to be just onto a pistol. I'm getting the Joe rounds. If any of you used to watch the Raid Call EMS Ones back in the day, it was the Joe rounds whenever you get stuck with an eco, so it does seem as though the CTs will be on that. But to be fair, we've seen a lot of ecos kind of swinging both ways around, so obviously full AK, fully stacked T side, and a lot of CTs looking for maybe a pistol or a gun here to be able to be picked up. And actually, Device is found on, as has KGB. Dignitas, I doubted them for a second, and that's what I get. So 2 guns possibly now in the hands of the CT side, or at least on the ground, as Dozier suddenly has to get himself back, and the bomb being left at spawn is going to be another issue to be dealt with. But Adren not too far away from some players as well. He's not going to go down to the same mistakes as Kucha and Angel. He finds Device. So 4v3. Dupree does have that gun, and I'm kind of curious where Dupree is playing. They've left him almost solo on A at the moment. Bomb is, however, swinging over towards that B site. So we'll see if Markelov, Dozier, and Adren can pull off anything here. 45 seconds left. They certainly have the time for it. But Zipnik's is getting right into the apartments, and if he doesn't overextend here, he could be in a really great spot. Markelov has just got a glimpse, but the slither of a player is wisping away from me. He can't catch up in time, dropping out the nades, knowing he'd have dropped down, but Zipnik still stands, and this is buying time. This is making the calls. This is again the other players coming through. Cajun does the damage towards the Trent. He does it again. This is big from Cajun. Bring it just down to Dozier. 1v2. This is incredible play from Team Dignitas, turning this game on its head already. Can they do more? Yes, they can. There comes Dupree, and that was a big turnaround. That was exactly what Team Dignitas wanted to do.
Fantastic play from them, and that's what you get for calling it a Joe
Yeah,
round.
I did. That's karma. I'll take that. At least I didn't do it. I'll eat my hat if they pull this off, because I'm sure there's a hat that still needs to be eaten by you at some point.
At some point. Get that taco hat with guacamole in it. 4-2 Dignitas. Great round from them, and that kind of highlighted the plight that HellRaisers have found themselves in. A round that they really shouldn't have lost. Undone by great individual play. Can say I was pretty harsh on Adren in the first map. He's on a 5 to 6 ratio now. He's got he's the top fragger for the HellRaisers side. He's having a much better second map, and that can often just be the positioning that you get lumbered with on a certain map, whether you see action, whether it's one you actually enjoy playing or whatnot, as the nades exchange. And we've seen this A push once before from HellRaisers. It didn't work last time. How's it going to fare this time around that they have weapons? First frag comes to Markelov, drops Fetish. It's going to be Dupree with a lot of action. The moment that smoke clears, finds frag number 1, retreats to not reveal his position, sees a flying player, gets him. It's Dozier that got swatted. Adren in the end took down Dupree. Cajun B rattles off a shot and connects onto Adren. Nice work from Dignitas here. Despite being blinded, we're able to get 3 frags amongst the action, and now have turned it to a one-man. It's Cajun B who's got 3. It's Dupree who got 2. Dignitas individually excellent.
Brilliant play from those guys, really coming up big. And let's see, Cajun B with that AWP doing the job, sitting on 11 to 3. I do want to actually check on the scoreboard. I haven't really paid much attention to it for once. Normally I'm glued to this, but at the top, Cajun B, Device, Dupree, Zipnik, and Fetish. Fetish been very quiet so far, 2 to 4. They were so happy with his new addition, and haven't really seen him quite get into that plateau yet. But still, early days in this game, or this map at least. As we are seeing just 1 AK with Dozier with head armor, the rest are solely on pistols. And I haven't seen this kind of strat in a long time, but let's see if they can make it work. Markelov on his own by B, Dozier Kucha down by A, and Cajun B prowling around mid. Nade will come out. Should have found Adren then, and it did take him down actually. Cajun B doing great work here actually. Really glad to see this man really stepping up when it matters. But the bomb, in the meantime, has made its way over towards the A bomb site, if I can talk, with the 3 members. But will it commit? Angel's taking the long way around through the apartment, so another couple of seconds on our hands. The clock will be running down. Device with a stunning shot, finding Dozier's head and plucking off of his shoulders. And Markelov will reply to Fetish, but still it's tit for tat, but not all that in favor to the T side, as Markelov's been caught by Dupree in mid, and now Kucha and Angel, the last 2 standing, and the AK came into no effect as Device will find the rainbow. Another solid round on the board for Team Dignitas.
Yep, cleared that one out quite happily, and they're up 6 to 2, and this is looking very, very good from Dignitas there. They took Dust 2 with some ease, and they've started Hero Mirage in similar fashion. And I remember a time at DreamHack Winter where their strength was really there to see. I think it was Titan they were playing, and they were coming back every time. They were giving Titan no easy rounds. I think they eventually lost to them as in that tournament, but it was a phenomenal game, and you saw the potential there. You saw why Dignitas picked them up, and maybe now we'll see whether they've got the ability to go one step further in this tournament and get themselves into the top rankings, because they look good. Yeah, and if we look
really
at, well, we'll see some action here as Cajun B will see some loving from Markelov. Markelov takes down Fetish and will be returned by Dupree with a headshot onto Adren, and we trade frags here. We've lost Angel and Adren though for the Ukrainian side. Dozier levels it up, and Markelov will give the man advantage to HellRaisers. Here we go. Dozier catches KGB coming through the hole, and that leaves just Zipnik's 1 on 3. Two of them on lowish health, and Zipnik's a man that can, but this is not an easy play for him going in towards that A site. Zipnik's probably just going to look for some exit, make this expensive. There won't be much money in that HellRaiser bank account, and he will try to stop it, but he's going to go all the way in as he nades out towards the back. Kusha is going to see they come back round through the CT spawn side, and he may have to decide at some point along the way that he just can't get this. But he doesn't know the word no, and he picks himself up another frag, drops Kusha. He's going to go for the defuse. He's got 3 seconds left to go. Dozier, oh, he's just pulled off it at the wrong time. Got the kill on the Dozier, but Zipnik's, it could have been so much more. So close yet so far away from Zipnik's, and he'll help himself to a hat trick, but kick himself for not getting the bomb defuse.
How frustrating. Obviously, we get the joy of having X-Ray on. Obviously, he doesn't know that the guy's not going to call his bluff then. He could have just gone all the way through on that, I almost feel. And, oh, that... we've already had one beautiful full defuse to, yesterday it was in the smoke. I was about to say 2 days in a row. I don't think we'd be that lucky, but still.
That was against... that was HellRaisers as well.
Yeah.
Against Reason.
Incredible stuff. So, HellRaisers, certainly not out of it yet. The first map is still in the hands of Team Dignitas, so got to bear that in mind that HellRaisers need to pick up this map and then the next if they want anything to do with this. We are seeing finally a little bit of an all-in strat coming out from the T side, and actually the one thing I'm noticing with Dignitas, they're not allowing them to set up so comfortably. HMB will happily push down with the AWP, and normally, the T side of HellRaisers have that time to set up with their smokes, their flashes, their grenades. It's what made them so, just poignant when they hit that B site before, but Dignitas not really letting them rest on their laurels here, so 6-3 current scoreline. You can tell as to why. At the moment, the only player really damaged for Dignitas is Zipnik's, taking a little bit of fire, but Dozier as well, getting chunked down too. So, slower start thing for HellRaisers. 45 seconds left here, but they haven't lost a player yet, but they are looking like they want to at least fake out a little bit with Dozier now pushing in. The spray down does come from Zipnik's, but to little to no avail, and flashes now do start actually doing the job as KGB has found Dozier amongst all that smoke. And the rest of the T side may be considering their options here. Galil in the hand of Angel, a couple of AKs spread around. It's not the fullest stack I've seen coming out yet. And Zipnik's just spots out Angel. Angel will find it, but KGB, that's going to make 2 for him this round. He's in the perfect spot here. They've not split anyone through that little short way in. And now B will be slowly but surely engulfed by the T side as HMB adjusting device, getting into the crossfire. The bomb is down for the PT players as now Adren has found Dupree, but there's Fetish coming in strong. And device pushes in as well, finds Kucho. One man standing, it's just Adren. 1v2, 1v1. He's got the first. We doubted this man, but can he shut us up? He's got 2, as has KGB. Who is going to get the triple kill here? Bomb ticking. KGB needs to make his move. Adren's got the a little bit of a joy of time on his side. That bomb is going to be ticking faster and faster, and KGB knows it. He's making his move, but to be fair, oh my god, he did know how much he tagged in them, and well played to Adren, playing the time perfectly, and that's a relieved look inside.
It is. Dignitas will be fuming, because that's another round they should have had. The scoreboard should read 8-2, but instead it reads 6-4, and that gives HellRaisers reason for optimism. Adren using his experience there, now leading the board with 9 frags for his team, 4 clear of the next man, who is Dozier and Markelov. So lovely work from them. Still money in the bank for Dignitas. That's the one thing that they will look at in this next round. They only have to save the once, which will be this round, and they'll be back at them next. But good work from HellRaisers. They pulled this all the way back. And they did win an eco earlier, so let's see what they can do here as push comes in towards that B site. Reinforcements coming from Dignitas ASAP as Adren and Kusha mow down 2, and the HellRaisers have got that B site locked down. This eco conversion should be theirs. So HellRaisers not giving this one up without a fight.
No. Unbelievable. And I just want to point out something. The faith they had to literally, when they jumped into that site, to look complete opposite ways and hope the other player was actually covering them off was unbelievable. So, you know what? credit to them for pulling this back and still having that much faith in each other, even after losing, you know, quite drastically on the first map. And a couple of players not having the best of performances yet. Still, there they are, still fighting.
As George Michael says, you've got to have faith.
I was just letting that soak in. Don't you worry, you know, I'm a big fan of George Michael. I miss casting these, shirts. It's always a unique pleasure. 6-5 in the scoreline. HellRaisers kicking it up a gear here, really, and it was so subtle that no one really noticed it, but now Dignitas are only 1 round ahead here. And Dozier still with a Galil in the hands as well. Not the ideal setup, but I'm sure he can work with. We've got 2 Famises in the mix for Dignitas, so that in the hands of Zipnix and Fetish. We are seeing the T side. A little bit of a weird mixture. 2 down towards mid, 3 focused towards A. Fetish switching things up here because those smokes have come in on towards that A site, and we are seeing a bit of a movement coming out. Adren now pushing through on mid. They're all slowly but surely converging on this A side. Device lays in wait. Fetish has found one, but Adren quickly avenges, and now brought back to a 4v4. T-side still not fully committed, but here we go. Dozier finds Dupree. It is now go time, surely. A couple of flashes coming in, but Dignitas are ready and waiting. There's Cajun B finding Dozier. Doesn't get the follow-up onto Markelov, and the T-side can continue getting to the site, and they're being cautious, though. They're not just flooding in. They're not being hap-handed. They're being clinical and methodical, and it's working. 30 seconds left. Adren finds Device. And now we are seeing 3 players on the site, and those 3 players will get the round.
Can't help but feel that Zipnix with any other gun than a Famis in that position might have done more damage. But that's 4 rounds in a row for the HellRaisers side. Pulled it back to a tie game, and they are going to be feeling mighty confident at this point, forcing another save from Dignitas. And now have the realistic opportunity of going in at the half, leading. We've got 3 rounds left to go in this half. It's to be a save from Dignitas, and if HellRaisers can put together some a great run going into the half, that first map can be very quickly forgotten. There was a point in this game at 6-2 and I was starting to look at the brackets and say, well, the winner of this will face the winner of NIP and Complexity, but sod the brackets. This game is not decided yet. As thus far on Dignitas' eco round, they've been unable to really make a scratch on their Ukrainian flagged opponents. And we must point out again, Adren now up to 17 kills. 17 kills. Next person on his team, 6. Really rolling back the years here, Adren, on this second map, and you know, shutting up tall British casters who may have questioned his inclusion in this team.
At least that excludes me from that point.
Why, are you not tall?
No.
Great play from them. High fives all round, and the HellRaisers side will take the lead at 7-6.
This is exactly what I was waiting to see. When were HellRaisers going to turn up? And it may have taken some time. The first map, they were barely present, I feel. This time, they're slowly getting there now, and these back-to-back rounds, you can see the looks on Dignitas' faces. It's worn down that grin that once was there, and we are seeing a bit of an all-in coming out from the T side. I'm waiting to see these smokes and flashes being lined up here, which have been so damn good. And most of Markelov's deep smokes will be coming through as well. Zipnix, however, is ready, and we know that Cajun B likes to get aggressive. They like to halt them early on. And the flashes are coming through. Adren already on the side, does find Zipnix. Cajun B does reply, but that's only Adren down. He's been a key player, but there's still 4 very dangerous men still standing, and Angel holding the rotate. Beautifully done, does find Device. Cajun B still kicking, however. That's 2 for him. Cajun B, that's 3. Cajun B is on fire right now. The bomb is still down, though. Kucha and Markelov still alive. That's Kucha finding Fetish there, so defending his site, leaving just Cajun B and Dupree to do the damage. Here we go, Markelov's on to Dupree. Last man alive is Cajun B. This has to be an ace if he wants to. He missed the money shot, goes back in with a pistol, not going to happen. Kucha denies, and another solid round on the board for HellRaisers.
Big round. It all kicked off with Adren at the beginning getting that first frag. That was what opened things up. And what's interesting is if you look at Adren, you dropped down before that last round, before Markelov got those kills. If it wasn't for Adren, the next 3 highest fraggers on the map were Dignitas players. That shows you
that's a big impact.
Now, you can argue there's a big percentage of those that are eco kills, yes, but you got to take them. And good play from them. And Dignitas are on a 3 FAMAS buy here, which does start well for them. They get themselves a frag onto Angel, and they'll look to try and make this halftime deficit as small as possible. And it's a big difference, to state the obvious. It's a big difference to go in 8-7 versus 9-6. And let's see what we get. Grenades pass one another in the sky. Fetish has taken a fair whack of damage. Will... Wow, Markelov picks off Zipnix. Beautiful stuff from him. And now HellRaisers will level us back up, and Markelov extends his kind regards to Zipnix. And that, with him being down, has left Dignitas a little unsure, because Markelov then pulled all the way back. They're going to move him over in through the house up towards A, and that gives them a great opportunity now. Device is going to rotate around the back to look at T-Spawn and say, is anyone really interested in B? And once he realizes that the answer is no, he'll sandwich round through T-Spawn, and that means Fetish can move, but the attack may come too quickly for that. The flashes have held them up, and those flashes have bought the 5 seconds needed to get more CT bodies in towards the site, because here come HellRaisers as they push in Cajun B. FAMAS headshot gets the first man. Dignitas then lose the following 2. Device stops the Rygo to Dozier, but Dupree's down and out for the count, and it's Device that's going to have to hit a hat trick here against Markelov and Kusha. First man down! Markelov gets it, and it's 9-6, and the HellRaisers side, having once been down by 6 rounds to 2, finish off the round with 7 straight rounds in a row. Great stuff from the HellRaisers. They're fighting for their lives here in Poland. Let's see whether they can keep it.
And I've got to say, that last round, Device was so damn key there. Coming around the back, sadly, couldn't do the job. Markelov once again stepping up and doing the damage. You see the Angel on your screen there. Still looks quite cheerful. They don't look too stressed. They're actually looking quite happy for once. Normally it's this very stoic face going on. There's no smiles there, but clearly happy with what they've done on that T side. I think people may argue they're a stronger CT-sided team as well. So this may really play into their favor, but yet to be seen. Whereas Dignitas don't look as cheerful, let's say, as they did at the very start of this. Obviously, a bit of a rude awakening, but each team to their own. Some teams come in hot off the bat. They don't need that little bit of a warm-up. They don't need much of that, but it's a new atmosphere, new stage, new crowd, new sounds. Obviously, they've got these headsets on, but you're going to hear something. It's not the same as being sat right behind the back with little to no distractions. Here, there's everything going on. They've got a huge crowd in front of them. The caliber of players on HellRaisers, I don't think it's going to affect them as much as maybe some of the newer ones on Dignitas, but Dignitas seemed to be a little bit hotter to come into this one. They seemed very warmed up, very, up for this immediately, whereas HellRaisers were kind of warmed into this. Dust 2 was a shadow of what they're doing now.
Well, Device was really G'ing on the crowd in that first map. Whenever they picked him around, he was egging the crowd on to go back to what my good friend Charles Charles was saying, that when you're on that stage, you feel 10 years younger. You feel like you can fly. And it's interesting. It's phenomenal to see the effect that can have on people. CS players haven't experienced that in a wee while. If you haven't been in that DreamHack final, then you haven't been on a stage with fans screaming for you. And now we're back in that type of a realm. And let's see. There's the look at Fetish in the middle, like CS playing Thomas Gravison, ready to lead his Dignitas side into battle once more. As we get away for the pistol round, and HellRaisers have the wind in their sails. There's going to be a B push, and there are going to be 3 HellRaisers players there. Dozy, the first of those 3 to see action, and he gets his head just chopped off. It's rolling around on the floor somewhere down there as Dupree gets himself the kill. Next one will come in, and Dupree will have himself the second one. It's a danger man, a Dren. Zipnik's in on the action as well. They're looking for Kusha. If they finish him off, there may well be the round, and it is. Dignitas start the second half like they need to.
And I think they did. That was brute force coming in then. There was nothing pretty, no fancy work in that one. That was literally, we want this round, we are going to take it. And that's exactly what they did there. Really well played. And let's bear in mind, if all things go to usual effect, it's going to be 2 more rounds back to back. And I think we might be having a pause here, actually. Yeah, there we go. We've got the hand up in the air. That's Dignitas calling for a pause.
Look at that wave. That's just some guy waving to be on camera. Hi, Mom.
Hey. I want to see the banner coming up, like the Kappa thing. I saw a grey face banner, and there's a lot of Twitch emotes just kind of like flooding into the crowd here, which I like. I like a good Kappa. It's good. I'm hoping when I tab out, there's going to be Kappa all the way down Twitch chat. It always makes that. Or like Bible Thump is underused as an emoticon. People don't realize how good it is, but still, yes, we are in a pause.
Lauren Pansy Scott making a stand against Twitch emotes.
Yeah, what a surprise. What a surprise. I'm not included on the ESL ones. Like, if you look through it, we've got our own custom ones. I'm not there.
How do you get a custom ESL emoticon?
Apparently when you work for them, but...
No, I mean, how does a viewer get one in chat? How does that work?
You have to subscribe to the ESL TV channels, any one of them. It works on all of our channels, not just the CS one.
How many channels do you have?
Oh, loads. Twitch, you know, are so kind to us. They are truly supportive, and they've helped us become what we are today, obviously, vice versa. But we are back in the game, so Dignitas' focus faces are back on, and we are seeing them now, obviously, running off the back of that great initial pistol. Got an interesting buy coming out from HellRaisers. Hopefully we can go back in game production, because things are happening, guns are being shot. And Fetish is frowning drastically. And
oh, now we get pictures of them.
There's moving pictures in game of them, don't you worry. But you look at that, that's when they were happy. Now they're not so happy. So it's this contrasting thing. It's very artsy. And thank God it's been a slow round. Let's be honest here. They haven't done too much. So Adren and Markelov running with shotguns. I'm okay with it. But, you know, fairly normal kind of mixed up by there. Actually, a lot of AKs in the mix. They're not messing around. They go for the rifles. They aren't kind of going for the in-betweens here. I don't blame them. They got the bomb down and they did well for themselves. Why not? But the A site is still looking quite dangerous. Obviously, Kucha and Markelov both there. We've got Dozier roaming in between. Adren just tucking himself in a corner with that shotgun. As Device has found Kucha and breaking through it. Just brute force them over those P90s. You might as well do it. There's nothing pretty about it, but it does the job anyway. As we do see Markelov finally getting a kill, but it's now just going to be Adren. Very easy round for Dignitas there. It was a little bit fast and loose, but did the job, and Dignitas are closing that gap.
Yes, excellent work from Dignitas. They picked up pistol and they converted it once. Let's see if they can convert it twice as they push through. There you go. There's the Kappa.
Kappa.
And except for the one guy who says this cast is horrible. Well, we love you too. We love you too. Come on.
GG.
Tell us your problem, son. Lauren and I are here for you.
We deeply care.
Wow, you couldn't have said that more sarcastically if you tried. That's disgraceful. I was really open arms to that poor chap who hates us. And you were just... Now I see why. I take it back. You're right to hate us. Frags coming in here. Fetish KGB will pick up 3. Angel did get himself one back, but it's only Adren and Markelov. Sorry, it's only Angel and Markelov that are standing, and they ain't standing anymore. It's 9-9 as Dignitas convert the pistol round into 3, and the first buy round of this second half for HellRaisers will be a beauty.
They've got to get this one in the bag. You know, this is where it comes down to. You know, they had a great first half. They struggled at the beginning, then they warmed up. They started to get these rounds, and they started to, you know, cause real trouble for Dignitas. But the way Dignitas have just evened this so swiftly. You know, obviously the impact of a pistol round is huge. Let's not, you know, undercall that. But it's an interesting start here. 4 players for the T side looking towards the A side. Fetish being one of them. Obviously going to be facing off against Adren in a moment's time. And the counter flashes to absolutely to a T from Adren, just holding them back in place. Dupree now is left out on a bit of a limb here. No support inside, but it doesn't matter. He's still fighting hard. Takes down Markelov. There is another player on site. That will be Adren, but Kuch is the one causing most of the trouble. Takes down Device. 2 now stand for the CT side. Just Kucha and Dozier up against the 3 of the T players whose execution was a little bit hit and miss, but they made it work. And KGB now making his way in. Do they go for the A site? 59 seconds, they don't have to here. There's only 2 players left. They can outnumber, but can they outplay? Kucha with that AWP, Dozier as well. Bomb is going down. You can hear the AWP rattling off, but not finding anyone as Kucha is eyeing up where KGB is, but no need. Look at these crossfires, set up so well. Each player covered off, and Dozier has been caught a glimpse of. He's going to be still alive by a whisker on 3 HP, and there we have it, really calmly played out by Dignitas then. And you can see that it does mean the world to these guys. They've got the round that they needed on the board, the harder fought one. Fair play to them.
Yeah, good work from them, and G'ing up the crowd with them as well. Really, really powerful stuff. I enjoy to see that kind of camaraderie up on stage. I enjoy to see people who are just clearly enjoying their game. And what a lovely sentiment that is, as Dignitas will push through. They've forced an eco, of course, from the HellRaisers side, and with only 1 flash from Angel, you can expect them to probably go. Well, I was going to say you can expect them to go 4 or 5 men deep into 1 site, flash to try and create an opening and see where they go from there. But they haven't actually. They've sent KGB round and sorry, they sent Adren forward, and Cajun B's going to sit there. It did push up a long way from B, actually, with 3 players, but Dupree's going to push in now, get himself the frag and a Dozier. Markler follows up, and the Dignitas side are now mowing down the HellRaisers 1 by 1, and they will re-establish a 2-round advantage, and they've now won 5 in a row on the second half. Now,
let's bear in mind here, Dignitas picked up the first map, so this could be all over very soon if, HellRaisers don't actually step up here, which is, it's quite sad to see because they looked so formidable. When they got into the swing of things, they looked like an incredible bunch of players that they are. It's not like they're not this team that can do well, but at the moment, they're just being outgunned, outplayed, and outdone, and well, let's see if it's going to happen again. Big spread from the T side. You can see on the minimap, they are absolutely everywhere. Cajun B, Dupree with a very quick push through mid. Where is the pressure coming in? There was no one, but finally Angel playing from the site does pick him up. So they're not going for the initial peaks, it seems, HellRaisers. They're just kind of locking down very small angles, which, if it works, who am I going to judge? But Kucha there, holding a slither of a peak towards that B push, if anyone did decide to go for it. But we are seeing the likes of Fetish very much surrounded by Adren, Angel, and Markloff, all by the A-side. Device and Zipnix join him as well. Let's see how this one's good. Oh, that Molotov come in perfectly, taking down Markloff. And now Adren does seem to fall to the same fate almost, as we are seeing the T-side holding the numbers here. But Kucha and Dozier substantially better health than the vast majority of the opponents. But the bomb is down and ticking by the A-side. 3v2. Make it a 2v2 as Kucha will find Fetish. Dozier now edging with that AWP. Kucha as well from the side. You are seeing the bullets coming towards them. T-side really digging in deep. They are not peeking for the life of them. But there we go. Kucha finds a pixel. Takes down Device. But can he follow up? Can he get the next? Him and Zipnix does it. Beautifully played. And Dignitas are not letting this one go. They are going all the way here.
Zipnix delivered a huge double frag there at the end. He had no right to get it.
No.
They had him locked. They knew exactly where he was. He was hiding behind a box. A box. And yet he was able to finish off the job. Nice work, Zipnix. Nice work, Dignitas. 12-9 the score. And they find themselves in the driving seat, needing just 4 more rounds for victory. But HellRaisers in that round made it much more uncomfortable. And until they win a round, the money system now is just going to keep them flush, as they will wade out this Dignitas side. Dignitas get themselves the first frag. It's Device who's dropped Angel in the middle of the map just before that B entrance. And he'll hold back, and the Dignitas side just happy to play passive. I think they were a little bit unsure what they might face from HellRaisers going into this next round, having won so many in a row. They wondered whether HellRaisers might try a rush, might try something just to mix it up. Didn't happen, and now they can sit somewhat safe that they're going up against a standard stack on one or another bomb site. Bomb is with Device, and he's over up at B with Cajun B. But the flashes are all coming in at A from both sides. The attack is moving in from A, whilst Device slowly meanders in towards the B side on the other side. Markloff and Adren pick up the frags. Device and Cajun B have got to move quickly because it's only Zipnix left to do some damage there. And here we go, Device and Cajun B putting the bomb down. Dozier has now spotted the fake.
We've killed Stuart. We've had to get rid of him. We had to wheel him out. But still, it is a 3v3. We'll let Stuart stop dying in the corner as we are seeing finally the T side looking towards that B side. They've got this one set up quite well. CTs have to brute force their way in, and they're doing it. Kucha does find Cajun B. The reply coming in from Device, however, has even the score again, but that clock is the biggest factor now. You can hear how fast that bomb is ticking. Zipnix does find a trend, but still, that's 2 players in the bomb to defuse. Kucha is running out of time, and Zipnix does it again for Dignitas. This is Zipnix dragging them to the very end here. They've got the first map. He got 3 that round, and they are on 13-9.
Really nice play. Zipnix got to the round before that as well to win the round as well. So Zipnix delivering. He does love a little bit of a solo play, and has delivered for him. And you know, you can see why he was on Fnatic. You can see the potential people have long seen in Zipnix in moments like that. And let's see what they have to offer here. Angel gets himself the frag onto Dupree. Fetish exchanges in as they'll push through. HellRaisers on an eco pick themselves up 2 frags. They'll be feeling rather chuffed about this thus far. Cajun B puts Nade down and finishes off the job into Adren, helps himself to the next, and it's Dozier 1-on-1 against Device. Dozier no gun, but has health. And the Nade Did minimal damage to Dozier there, putting down 3 points of health. And Device's 14 points of health won't be enough, but he's got an army of nades. And doesn't have the bomb, though. That's sat just down to the right, that lovely, shiny, flashy gold bullion that you can see there as Dozier pushes through. You kind of want to see Xyp9x flash the heck, Device flash the heck out of Dozier there, but Dozier's final movement just offset Device, and that's a round HellRaisers had no right to win. And 13-10 gives them another glimmer of hope.
Yeah, and that was quite nicely played from Dozier, actually. I was surprised when he started to push forward. I expected him to kind of play this more passive game. Obviously, he's on the CT side, the bomb was right next to him. But he played it really nicely then, actually. Obviously, trying to just throw off the opponent of Device, as you mentioned. Had that complete barrage of flashes and smokes, but 13-10. You know, it's still very much game on, but I feel that, you know, the T-side are looking so solid here. But then again, at the start, it was the same thing. But maybe this is HellRaisers slowly warming into this half, and this is when they find their footing. But they better hurry up and do it, because Dignitas, you know what they're like. Xyp9x is chomping at the bit to get this one in the bag, and we are seeing the T-side making their way through mid. Kucha playing quite passively, obviously those smokes forcing him back. Angel holding the push rather than the peek, and that's done very nicely there. It does find Dupree, but it's a little bit overextended. KGB will punish him for that one, as Dozier now has to deal with the incoming onslaught of the T players. KGB finding Kucha. Dozier does the damage, but not enough. KGB still on a roll. That's 3 in the bag for him. Can he find any more? No, Fetish goes down. Adren did the job on that one. Now it's a 2v2. KGB and Device against Adren and Markelov on that B side. KGB does it again. This could be an ace. Device steals it away, but still 4 in 1 round. The individual performances coming out from Dignitas are astounding. Whether it be Xyp9x, whether it be Fetish, whether it be KGB, one of them every time can do the damage.
And money system reset at the worst possible time for HellRaisers, having lost 5 in a row, winning that 1 round. They had to follow up. They had to build some bank, and now they don't. It's 14-10 in favor of Team Dignitas. They're 2 away from victory here, as Dozier and Yorp are doing some damage. Fetish and Xyp9x both picked off. Don't think either team expected, or don't think the Dignitas side expected to be running into an AWP on that A site this round. And it's done a fair amount of damage. Dozier just picking off frags one by one, taking names, taking numbers. Angel's going to go in and get in on the action as well. Device is the last man standing against 3. One of those CT players may be able to come up and pick up that AWP too. And Device finds himself in real trouble. And Dozier has just said, "You shall not pass," going in towards that A site, and has given HellRaisers a real opportunity to get back into this. It's only Device that can save Dignitas now on this round, as he meanders all the way to the back of that A site, looking to see if anyone did bait for that gun. He gets himself the first frag. Angel goes down. Angel, tad predictable. Markov has the FAMAS now, looking to rattle across. Device has got the AWP. Can he deliver? No, he's actually costing some time there and some positioning, but gets frag number 2 onto Kusha. And you've got to ask, where's Markov in that time? He's going to get... Oh, Markov still standing somehow, 9 points of health. This would be 1-on-3 for Device. And he gets it. Device finishes off the 1-on-3. Eggs on the crowd, but the question was 1-on-3. Why was he allowed to go 1 by 1 by 1? As the HellRaisers, and Dozier in particular, must be furious that they let that one slip.
My heart goes out to Dozier right now. He played out of his skin then to deny match point. 3 incredible kills. I mean, something you put in a frag movie and you sit there and you watch back every damn day. And then the rest of his team, who had a fully set up site, they had 1 player to take down, completely and utterly choked. Do not get me wrong, Device, solid player, but they had no reason to drop that. And finally, Adren steps up to the plate, finding KGB. And this is all they've got now. This is it. Dignitas are on the verge of going through here, whereas the T-side of HellRaisers may have just thrown away their best chance in that last round. But maybe this is what they needed. Maybe this is the rude awakening they had to be given. But there we have it. Dupree has already found Markelov. We are seeing Kucha finding a reply, but it's a 3v3 now. And looking at the guns, it is drastically in favor of the T side, but still doing damage. Dupree's doing work, but it's not enough. Angel will hold on for another round. But still, this is not a pretty game for HellRaisers at the moment.
It's not, but they're all in every round. It's actually really captivating to watch.
Yes.
You're just seeing a team of individually talented players just flying by the seat of their pants. And we'll see whether they've got anything to offer here, as they've got to do it 4 more times with a real mixed bag of weapons and nades in this round, up against the Dignitas side, who have got 4 rounds to win the game. As they push in, and you felt for a moment, particularly in that last round, that the strap book had kind of gone out the window, but this time they've sat a little deeper, the HellRaisers side, and they're going to see Kusha get himself frag number 1 onto Cage and B. Dupree looking for vengeance, but they'll have to be patient. And what was interesting was Kusha getting that frag allowed him to then pull all the way back out of mid, go over towards the A site and help stack it up, because they feel confident going up against whatever comes onto either site with a 3-on-2, or with a 3-on-3 at A or a 2-on-2 at B. As Device just trying to see whether a pixel will show himself or whether he can line up. Hasn't happened for him yet. Patience of virtue there for Dozier on the bottom end. Nade comes up, Device ever so slightly flash, and that allows Dozier to move, but Dozier has made the wrong move. Picked off by Device once again, and he'll now move in towards that B site. Zipnix and Dupree coming behind him. Angel stops him in his tracks. And the Danes will wait once more. Fetish pushing in towards the A site. He is the bait. Here, Adren will help be the man to find him shortly. The rest of the attack is all coming towards A. Adren decapitates Fetish, and it's all going on at B. Zipnix and Dupree put it down. The HellRaisers side had no idea. They were all at A. And that's a beautiful play from Fetish. May not have got a kill, but certainly did his job regardless. Bought time for Dupree to go in. He's got himself 1. It's a 2-on-3. Zipnix and Dupree have a 33 health points between them. And Zipnix is staring at someone and doesn't know it as he'll pull back. Now it's going to be Dupree to get another headshot. Picks off 1. It's all on Zipnix. Can he carry them over the line? Zipnix gets frag number 1. He's 1-on-1 versus Kusha, and the bomb will tick louder and louder, and Zipnix will show now! He carries them over the line! Zipnix for the 3rd round on that T side. Went 1-on-3 and delivered. Beautiful stuff from Dignitas, and the Danes are flying through here into the semi-finals. They will face off against the winner of NIP and Complexity, and they have won in 2 maps. Beautiful stuff.
Absolutely amazing to watch. Truly deserving of the smiles across their faces. They're doing an absolutely phenomenal job. Dupree obviously on your screens there, and these guys, you know, credit HellRaisers, the likes of Device, Dozier and Angel truly did try in that one, but you know, they didn't have the game, and you can see it. You can see it right there. This is kind of slightly disheartening for them, and you can see why. Obviously, it's a huge tournament for these guys, and to go out at this point with so many rounds that they could have had.
So many rounds they could have had.
So many rounds.
You look at a lot of individual plays on that team. Adren in that second half played really well.
He did. Like, everyone was looking at him as well. He's had a lacking performance so far, let's just say. Maybe not as astounding as others within his team, but he truly did step up then.
Dozier throughout the tournament
of course.
Was really good yesterday. And, you know, the Dignitas side, individually, though, they all showed up. There wasn't one player on that Dignitas side that you could turn around and say, ooh, he didn't have a good game. No, yeah. They all had good games. For, you know, the ones that'll shine out will be Cage and B with the AWP on that first match on Dust. He was really good. Zipnix, of course, in that second map picked up a number of multi-kills, and Device as well. But throughout that roster, they had a very good game.
Oh, certainly. The best thing is, we were saying how great Zipnix was. He wasn't even the top of the scoreboard. He wasn't even close. He was second from the bottom. But the kills he got were the literal round-winning kills.
He doesn't do boring.
No, he really doesn't. It was. I was looking at that last match, and the last round, obviously, as you were casting, I was like, do you know what? This actually could go their way. They've got 2 of the players who can actually do this sort of thing. And I was thinking, surely the CT side know this. They know they're in for trouble here, and they went in 1 by 1 again. The same problem that happened with Dozier after he did such a beautiful thing, and then they just gifted it away. And I do feel for them. Obviously, there's a lot to be worked out, and I think Lurpis did something up very well in one of his articles on HLTV. You know, HellRaisers can be one of those teams that, you know, tug on your heartstrings. Every now and then they'll do something great, but then it fizzles away, and the frustration just kicks in, going, Jesus, you know, what happened, guys? You know, you're so close to being there so many times.
Individually, they are there.
True, very true.
But as a team, they're a long, long way off.
It's so
because
different.
you go back to DreamHack Winter as well. Yep. They didn't really offer much there. They lost to Dignitas there in the groups and then went out in the brackets. I mean, it was a it wasn't the performance you want from HellRaisers. And I think you got to. We said it in the half. there are enough players in that region to put together an all-star team.
But whether or not they like each other.
Yeah, that's
you
the
know,
wider problem.
there is a problem. Obviously, Edward was once there, and Astana Dragons at some point. You know, there's so many kind of variations of this lineup that have existed. But whether or not they get along, and as you said, they're great individuals, but you need that team element. And if you don't get along as individuals, as a team, and you kind of gel together, then there's no point being the most talented team in the world. You know, it kind of counterbalances itself. But I think we are almost ready for an interview.
Yeah, let's throw it over to the man that can. Let's go over to Sean Charles. Who you got for us, Sean?
Thank you so much, Stu. Thank you so much, Lauren. I'm joined by Fetish. Fetish, congratulations. Let's put you in to the next round tomorrow. How do you feel?
I feel amazing. It's really great, and it's a big relief to finally prove that we're able to compete with the best, since we kind of failed at the DreamHack Invitational a few weeks ago. So it's really good for us.
And you're now, you've got the rest of the day off, technically. You can relax a little bit, watch the other games. How are you going to spend the time with the team?
I guess we're going to go eat, and then we're going to watch the other exciting games here and just enjoy being here. It's a really great event, and there's so many people here. It's amazing.
It's crazy in here. It's so full, which is awesome. Have you got any words from the guys from HellRaiser who, of course, put up a good fight, especially in the end? They were looking like they were coming back in that second map.
Oh, we know them, and they're all amazing players, and they've always been amazing players. They knocked us out at ESWC, but they've been kind of hit in a slum lately, but they've been coming back, and I guess we'll see more to them in the future.
Now, looking into the future, the crystal ball of tomorrow, do you have anybody that you'd like to play against tomorrow?
Well, not really. We kind of exceeded our expectations already. We just wanted to make it out of the group, and at this event, there's so many good teams, so no matter who you play, it's going to be a top team, so it's going to be even, and we'll just do our best to put up a fight.
Sounds awesome. Well, I wish you the best of luck for tomorrow, and for now, all the guys here, a big round of applause for Team Dignitas, and of course for the HellRaisers for doing a phenomenal job and putting on a great show in this day 2 of the EMS One Katowice final. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. But for now, we're going to head back over to Scott. Scott, for you, sir.
Thank you, Sean. Obviously, big congratulations to Dignitas. Very, very well played, to say the least. Got to give you partial credit. We both did pick HellRaisers, but you did say if Dignitas takes that first map, that your kind of pick was changing.
No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, I just want to mess with you guys. My mic's off. But yeah,
don't mess with production.
Yeah,
no, he was messing with production.
Oh my god. But yeah, it's the thing of that HellRaisers is more comfortable in Mirage, obviously as we saw throughout the scoreline, as well as their play. Dust 2, they didn't play it at all yesterday too. So had Dignitas to give the advantage, I believe they chose the first map, just according to the order. But Dignitas, they got rolling early on. They kept momentum. We saw them in between each round, cheering, clapping, getting everyone excited, pumped up, and HellRaisers unfortunately just couldn't compete with it. And one of the 2 teams that have taken down Titan now today are out of the tournament.
Yeah, impressive stuff by Dignitas. Absolutely. We do have a little bit of some replay action. We want to walk through one of the rounds, so we'll get that popped up on this. We'll get that popped up behind us.
The Wolf Blitzer screen.
Well, yeah, the Wolf Blitzer screen. Sorry, the non-Americans who don't know who the CNN guy is. Tosspot throwing me under the bus. But basically, why don't you walk us through a round and why?
So it's round number 25, and we're looking at the money for a specific reason. Dozier, the man who typically plays B, currently 6,500 money. No one else really has anything except this one man up here, Adrenaline, going to pick up a FAMAS. So we can go ahead and start the round here and show you that they realize, guys, this is the last chance for us to potentially stop this draw from coming in and going into overtime. Dozier, let's get him to buy up and up. Let's have him go A instead of B this time. And we'll just try to hold off as long as we can, make something happen here. And you can see on the side, Dignitas, everything bought. They are prepared to go and ready for this one. And Dozier, he typically doesn't opt too much, typically holds on a B, but watch this play that he does. He's going to end up picking up 3 kills, gets a fantastic shot on a Fetish, picks up a second shot there on a Zipnix. He's going to miss maybe 1 or 2 right here as he does look towards apartments, but he gets a 3rd here. And you're looking at this, and once he picks this one up, we're going to go for a pause here. We can pause right now. But you can look at this, and we have Angel with the P250, we have Kusher P250, and Markov with the CZ. Look on the other side, 2 people alive. We're going to see, obviously, the last man fall here in just a second. It will be Cage and B, so we can go ahead and start the replay up here in just a second. And it's going to be Device left in a 1v3 position. Now, can we turn X-Ray on, actually, and just show you where everyone is on the entire screen?
There we go.
He's going to smartly work with the smokes. Move up, get into a better position. He's going to get the bomb here. He realizes, all right, they don't really have a lot of guns. I can probably pick this up here if I play this very safe. And he has a minute left. He has tons of time to work with here. Slowly heads over to CT spawn, taking his time. He's playing very slow but very calm.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to really point out here, because he realizes what's on the line here.
Yeah, and he knows the guy's over here. He just doesn't know where.
He knows he's there, and he's not going to let him pick up the op, as you did here. I believe that was Stu say. Gets the first kill. Okay, peek it out, see if anyone's going to peek me here. Switch to the op to look for the pick here to kind of catch him off guard. Realizes, crap, I need to switch out of this right away. Looks for the kill, gets it, and the last man, Markov, because of the chip, if we can pause real quickly, because of the chip that we saw of him over in here when we had Device actually get a couple of shots onto him, leaves him in a terrible position with a FAMAS with 9 HP. And we go and just finish the rest around here. And Device, fantastic play out of him. I think it's like one of his last bullets that he fires. Does end up picking up the kill and saving them in this round. And not to mention putting HellRaiser on a terrible kind of economy now. And honestly, it's a fantastic job by Dignitas in that round around. And Device actually, and I think it was Zipnix, picked up a lot of 1v3 clutches to really carry them through.
Yeah, and again, like you said, really smart. He knew he had plenty of time. He didn't have to rush the bomb plant, didn't have to sweat that. He had to go hunting first.
Yeah, he did.
And again, he still got 28 seconds left.
Yeah, he has tons of time. And also have to give a special shout out to Adren, because he had quite a few clutches on the side of HellRaisers and really carried them through. I think Stu mentioned it. He had, I think it was like 17 kills, and the next person under him was at 8. If he wasn't in the game, that would be the worst position to be in. So fantastic job overall to everyone. And obviously got a Device for really stepping up when it counted, because this is them now going into the semifinals. This is the money that they just now get from this, the increase, is ridiculous.
Yeah, and again, it's a new game again for Dignitas. You know, they've supported the game over the years, but this is a new roster, so it's nice for Odie and gang to have some good success, right?
And Dogbert to have a team
and Dogbert was so nervous earlier today, like he was like just chomping. I'm like, a little nervous. He's like, oh, yes, yeah, reminded me of my EG days. Like sometimes it's harder to not be the player, right? When you just have to sit there and hope and pray. So that kind of wraps up that game. Obviously, well played by both teams to get here. They both got at least 10 grand, but obviously what that's going to do for Dignitas is they're going to move them to the next echelon of some money, which is good, but HellRaisers will go home with $10,000. So our next match is going to be
virtus.pro and LDLC.
Yeah, hometown favorites.
That's going to be interesting, because LDLC, obviously the other team that destroyed the Titans, that made them fall, and they did it a little bit easier than virtus.pro did. I think HellRaisers did, but I think Mirage is definitely a map we're going to see come into this one. Other than that, I don't really know. I don't actually remember what LDLC played, because we didn't cover any of their games, if I'm not mistaken. That was all over on Anderson Semler's side. But I think Mirage is definitely one of those maps, and I wouldn't honestly be surprised to actually see the same 3 picked up here. Not have Nuke, not have Train in it, and just play, Dust 2, Inferno, Mirage.
Yeah, and again, if you look at their run, okay, they had the Australians with Vox.
Lost to NIP.
Then they lost to NIP, and then they beat 3D Max. So, and maybe they haven't even quite been challenged yet, but they're about to be.
We can't tell how strong they are, because Vox, I mean, got 2-0 technically, but we don't know the rounds, or at least I don't know them off the top of my head. 3D Max didn't really do much against NIP, and then obviously LDC didn't beat NIP, and I think it was even really one-sided in that match too that they played. And then up against 3D Max, it's gonna be them as a surprise team here. No one knows how they've been playing. Obviously knows how strong they are, but no one knows how they're playing here at this tournament yet.
Yep. And again, like we've talked about it all day today and yesterday, like virtus.pro, serious hometown favorites. Taz is more determined, more confident than I've ever seen him over the years. Like they are ready. And like you said earlier, they don't care about the money. I mean, they care about the money, but like it's all about the pride and that trophy and the championship.
Think about his entire career. How many times has he been able to get on top of the stage in front of his hometown crowd full of 10,000 people and hold up the cup?
Yeah, exactly. Not often enough.
Yeah.
To say the least. All right, folks. Well, that's going to do it for us for right now. But when we come back, obviously, virtus.pro, LDLC.